Hey everyone, welcome back to your final video of this Articulate Storyline 360 training series. This video is going to talk about all the different interactivity features that are already built into Storyline. We're going to talk about just kind of a brief overview and where to find each one because really each one could use its own video. Don't forget that I have a presentation that includes links to additional resources that will really help you dive deep into those and figure out how to use them along with the triggers and the timelines. So, some of the interactivity features included in Storyline 360 are states, drag and drop interaction, slider interaction, and dial interaction. We're going to first start off with states. So, I'm going to go ahead and go to insert right up here, and I'm going to go ahead and just show you the different states. Some objects require you to build your own states, which is awesome, but other objects have states already built in. So if I come down to the timeline area and I click states, I'm able to see that this button has tons of states already built in, and that will automatically go without needing to start a trigger. So if I click on preview this slide, I will be able to see kind of what those states look like. So, states allow you to alter the appearance of an object based on the learner's interaction. Many objects, like I said, have built in and work automatically. In addition, you can add custom states that work and look any way you want. So, as you can see, it looks totally normal. When I hover, it changes just a little bit. When I go down, it becomes darker, and then when I release, it goes back to normal, or it can also go back to a visited state. So that is just a little bit about states. Disabled is just basically saying that this button is just not working anymore. You can include you can include states for any type of object. You can also include them for your characters. When you can have it when the learner clicks on the character that they go from a standing state to a talking state. There's so many things you can do with states. So that is where you're going to find that as well. Our next one is going to be creating drag and drop interactions. Drag and drop interactions are a great way for learners to stop, think, and really engage with the content. Drag and drop interactions are helpful when you want learners to sort incorrect and correct items, order the steps in a process, match items up, place items on an object. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete this. And then I need to first come up here, and then I need to insert a different type of slide called a freeform. So as you can see, I could either do it from here, freeform question, which is going to help create that drag and drop. So I'll go ahead and click that, or I could go ahead and go here where it gave me that option. So I want to create a drag and drop. So I'm going to insert this slide. Once I click insert, give it just a second. There it is right down there. It's going to come up with two different views, so the slide view and the form view. I'm going to go ahead and just click inserted a couple of objects just so that way you're able to see. So I'm going to go ahead and insert another one. And I'll go ahead and insert, sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and just insert one more object. So form view is where I go to create that interaction for the learner. So what do I want to be the drag item or the item that the learner moves? So I can go ahead and come here. As you can see, all of my objects that I had on the slide are now listed. So if I want the learner to drop rectangle 1 or drag rectangle 1, I'm going to go ahead and click rectangle 1. So that is the object that can move. And say the correct answer is going to be the parallelogram. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So if you go back to slide view, we won't be able to see this interaction unless we preview it. So let's go ahead and preview this slide. This is a great way to create interactive questions at the end of a e-learning to see how learners understood the content, or just to create something fun so that way you can see learners can see like what skills are needed or anything like that. So as you can see, I'm just going to drag and drop. Once that's done, I'm going to click submit. And then it automatically creates a question of, so that is the one I got correct. All right, the next interaction object we are going to talk about is sliders. So I'm going to delete these items right here that I have on my slide. I'm going to go to Insert. And then I'm going to come over to Interactive Objects right here. So I'm going to click on Sliders. I have a couple of different options, and then I'm going to go ahead and just pick this one. I can make it the size I would like. And then if you come over to Design, or Format, excuse me, you're able to change and customize some features. This is a really great object or interactive tool to use when you're trying to show learners maybe a process, a timeline, or different options. For instance, I'm using this option in a slider in my Grow programs, so that way learners drag through, and as they drag through, different information is revealed. So there's so many different things you can do with a slider. Our next interaction tool we're going to talk about is going to be dials. So dials are similar to sliders, but they move in an arc or circular path rather than a straight path. Storyline 360 has a gallery of ready-made dials, or you can also create custom dials using objects, images, or graphics. For instance, say you want the dial to have numbers on it, you can insert an image of a wheel with numbers, and that will convert to a dial, so that way the learners interact with that. To insert a dial, we're going to go to the same interaction tools we had, and we're going to go ahead and click the dial we would like. There's that convert to dial option that you have as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then adjust the size. So currently, when learners move this object, they're only moving it in this amount. They will not be able to go past these little flags right here. But if I want the dial to turn in a complete circle, I'll go ahead and make these match right there. There we go. So that way when we preview it here in just a moment, you'll be able to move it in a complete circle. Like I said, this is a great way to show a timeline or show a process or show cause and effect. There's so many different ways you can do it, and really being able to make your own dial allows so many endless possibilities. We're going to go ahead and preview this slide really quickly to see how learners can interact with these objects. So as you can see, the slider just moves like that. And as I said, you can make layers appear, or you can make objects change based on where the learner drags the slider. Here's the dial. You can go ahead and it goes all the way around, just like that. Again, it's a great way for learners to see how to manipulate data, explore cause and effect relationships, and then even control other objects. With these interactive features, there's so many different things that you can do to really engage learners in that content. I know I just threw a whole lot of information at you with a lot of different aspects. I do want to point out the eLearning Heroes. eLearning Heroes is a website which I have linked in that resource presentation for you. It's a community of e-learner developers, and with this community, you are able to connect with professionals, find images, and even examples of e-learnings that people have created. There's also so many helpful videos for you, and I've also included a link to additional free images if you're looking for images beyond what Storyline 360 is offering you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and don't forget about that presentation I've made for you guys to refer back to at any time. Thanks.